because we decided to highlight the IPA's opinion poll that showed that there is a significant number of Australians who don't feel that what Channel 2 talks about reflects ordinary Australians. Now, you can have your view whether it does or doesn't, and I know part of the retort here is to say, well, what about this poll that says we're the most trusted? And what about this poll that says we're the most amazing? And what about how we can all walk on water because we're so much better than those evil people at Sky News? Well, I wanted to try to explain to those that are the automatic defenders who believe that they are beyond criticism about what may have informed the opinion that was shown out in that poll. Now, you can say immediately dismissed because the IPA is centre-right and about freedom. So we thought we should give you some other evidence about why potentially, about 30% of people say they don't talk about the stuff that matters to me. We did a scan of every word that has been said on ABC radio and television in the past month, from the 5th of February to today. And this is what they've talked about. Trump, 40,000 times. Climate, 37,000 times. Coronavirus, 35,000 times. Morrison, 35,000 times. And drought, 30,000 times. Okay. Climate is a constant issue to discuss. Coronavirus has, of course, been surging in the past few weeks. Scott Morrison's the Prime Minister. We are in a drought. And Donald Trump had just been acquitted from impeachment, but that was literally on the 5th of March. I'm not imagining that he still was getting tens of thousands of mentions in just that first week alone. They are very sick with Trump derangement syndrome over there. But I want to compare some of the things that they talk about versus the reality for Australians, and again, why for some Australians they feel that Channel 2 isn't where they are. Gender was mentioned 9,820 times, but veterans, they were mentioned 4,800 times. Now, to bear this out, there are, according to the ABS and the census of 2016, 1,260 people who are gender diverse in Australia. Let's double it. Let's 10 times it. Well, there are 183,665 veterans who the Department of Veterans Affairs took care of last year. About 100,000 family members of those veterans that were taken care of every year. But you see the disparity between what they talk about and what's actually going on? When it comes to the issues of Indigenous affairs, an important thing to talk about, but potentially disproportionate to other issues. Indigenous or Aboriginal was mentioned 44,800 times by ABC television and radio hosts. Mental health, 11,100 times. Well, again, according to the census, the Aboriginal population in Australia, valuable and important as it is 3.3% of all of Australia. The Black Dog Institute has said that 20% of Australians every single year will be affected by mental illness. Does that look like we're following where the numbers are? When it comes to matters like, again, climate change, once you put together climate or climate change, you get to 24,500 mentions. But okay, what about energy? Well, on renewables, they mention them 5,470 times. However, they mention power bills or energy bills just 206 times. To give you an idea, there are just 94 windmills that exist in Australia, or wind farms that exist in Australia, but according to the Australian Energy Regulator, 70,000 Australians were cut off from their power bills last year because they couldn't afford to pay them. Now, Channel 2 can talk about whatever the hell it wants. It's free to do so. But to pretend that it is free of criticism, that it is exactly where the zeitgeist of everyday Australians is not true. Now, it doesn't mean that the only thing you talk about are popular things. But when there is so many frequent, in just 1 month, examples of disproportionate conversation and coverage about issues that affect slivers of the population, they make value judgments about what slivers matter and what slivers don't. That's why the IPA was able to find what it found. Now, you can say it was push-pulling if you want, and the Channel 2 defenders will easily say that. But an analysis of what you say and what you do on air is why maybe 30% of people don't think that ordinary Aussies and their issues are being talked about by taxpayer television and taxpayer radio, paid for by them. That does not reflect them.